Hi yogis, and welcome to week 23 of your practice. This week we're going to be talking all about labor positions. So you're going to need a few tools, an exercise ball, if you have one would be great. Also a bolster, a blanket, a timer, and then a yoga block. I have not been able to find my yoga block since our move, so for me, I'm just using a Tupperware box today. Didn't even take anything out of it, just grabbed it because I know it'll be about the right size. So whatever you've got laying around is always fine for these tools. So starting today, we're going to stay on our balls and just place it wherever works for you. And what we're going to do is go through some of the positions that might help ease some labor pains, so some contractions that you'll experience. Even if you're planning on having an epidural during your delivery, you're still going to go through some of those contractions, more than likely. So having some tools in your toolbox to rely on is very helpful. So coming onto your ball, place your hands on your knees. Make sure your legs are wide enough apart to accommodate for baby. And just like we normally do, roll the shoulders back, sit up tall, close your eyes, and take a few moments to connect with your breath. Feel your torso growing long and tall. Shoulder blades relaxing down your back. And let your breath become even and calming. Knowing that if you take nothing else away from this yoga practice for your birth, the breath and the controlled breathing is going to be your biggest tool. So really focus on that and see if you can't feel the effect that the breath has on your body and physically calming you. And to flutter your eyes open. And sitting on the ball with our feet wide, just start to make little circles, whatever feels good to you. Again, this is your practice, so if it feels good, you can continue. If it doesn't, then you can try something different. We're going to just roll one way, and when you feel that's enough, you can just roll the other way. You can try and make figure eights here. That's a little complicated for me. But whatever works, whatever motion really helps you loosen up your hips, loosen up those lower abdominal muscles that are getting a little tight as baby starts to drop low into your pelvis. So this is one thing that you can do. Some people find a bounce really helps them throughout labor. Again, may or may not help you day of, but it's good to have those tools. Another way that the ball can be of service to you during your labor is you can come off the ball and just kneel beside it and then start to stretch forward. Again, let baby just drop. Think about your knees. You want to have your knees about hip distance apart and right underneath your hips, and this helps to stretch out your lower back. So if you're having for some strong back labor, this is going to be a great option for you. Again, you have the ball, so it's good to kind of rock back and forth. It gives you that freedom and that momentum. Of course, if you don't have a ball and you're not interested in one, it really doesn't do anything for you, that's fine too. You do not need to use it. I'm going to hope it doesn't roll back into the footage here in a moment. Our tried and true tabletop position. Again, worry about your alignment. So you don't want to make yourself any more uncomfortable than you already are. Stack your hips above your knees, lay your feet flat, so toes uncurled. Spread your fingers wide and have your hands underneath your shoulders. Again, sometimes the motion helps. Spreading the collarbones, inhaling forward, and then releasing the upper back, pushing in. It's up to you what works for you. Again, you can try many different positions. Sometimes rocking back and forth with the hips is going to help. Just a little wag side to side. Or even doing some hip circles. When I do hip circles, I like to take my hands a little bit forward just to give myself a little bit more space. And then you sit your hips back, make sure your legs are wide enough. You might need to go even wider than hip distance. So you start back, circle your hips around, Bring them forward and then come back. Making sure to move with the breath here. Again, this loosens up the lower back, helps with your up in between your shoulder blades. Just gives a little bit of motion there. You've got tons of relaxant in your system, so don't be surprised if your hips might snap, crackle, or pop. It's totally normal, as long as there's no pain associated with it. And then reverse the way that your circle goes. So really think about if you had a pen hanging from your belly button, you're almost making an oval shape on your mat. So staying here, coming back to all fours, walk your hands in slightly. Grab for your bolster. This next position is going to be again on hands and knees. If you're experiencing back labor, it'll help a lot too. This time you're going to take your bolster underneath your hands and then just a little bit at a time lower down to your elbows. If that feels good, you can stay there. Or during contractions, painful times, you want to take it all the way down, take your hands out to the side, and you can lay your head on the bolster. And just let the bolster support you. Let the base that you've created with your legs support you. And relax through that momentary contraction. Going back up onto all fours. Removing the bolster. One of the things that yoga's really helped with, for me at least, is getting up from the floor when you're down here, because sometimes you don't have somebody to help you and you're just feeling a little bit large and that you don't want to really put that much effort in. So yoga's helped me a ton. So when I get up from the floor, I tend to take a downward dog first. So I make sure I have a good base in my hands, curl my toes, lift my hips, keep a bend in your knee. Again, we're not going for pretty here, we're just going for movement. And then just walk your hands back. And with a flat back, go all the way up to stand. So standing is another position that might help you out during labor. It's not going to be a lazy stand. You're going to be going through a lot of physical pain. So think about your base. Your toes are going to be forward. Feet are going to be about under your hips, maybe a little bit wider, just depending on what works for you. And take a bend in your knee. So if you like to labor in this way, again, try it out day of. You might find that a little sway back and forth helps. I know throughout pregnancy, whenever I feel some ligament tightness, swaying back and forth has helped a lot. Also here, you have your knees for support, so you can always bend down and use that. You can also have somebody behind you supporting you, a labor partner. Or you can use the wall. One of the great things about the wall is that it's a good support for you no matter what. So you can back up to it. Again, good foot position, torso over your hips. You can really use it for support. If you have some back labor going on or you're tight in your upper back, we can use the dog for what is called puppy dog. So you're going to face the wall and take your hands to your hips where your little bony protrusions, if you can still find them, mine are pretty hidden, where the little bony parts of your hips are. You're going to place your hands there, face the wall. Put your hands on the wall about at that height, and then you're going to walk backwards. Keep your hands flat against the wall. Keep your feet hip distance apart, underneath your hips, and then start to find a flat back. This might be a good place for you if you have some back labor going on, if you still want some support. I really like this position. It helps baby kind of get into the right position for her. So if you're having some movement during labor, this might be a good option. And remember, as always, to use your breath to help calm yourself while you're in this position. Gently walk forward. That was puppy dog. Another option that we're going to do today is coming down a squat position. So again, you can use the wall. Take your feet nice and wide, and then sit your hips down. So this is going to help open everything up, which is the goal. So this might be a good laboring position for you, especially when you're really in active or transition labor. Again, you can, if you don't have the wall, you can have a partner, somebody help support you. You can lean up against a bed, whatever is necessary for you. Have your ball close. The next position we do practice a good bit in some of the yoga videos, so if you haven't done it yet, go back to some of the other videos that we've done. It's malasana, so it's a low squat. Take your feet wide, and then gently lower yourself down. You can use the ball for support. Once you get to about here, it feels so good on your hips, helps everything open up. Again, helping gravity do its job. If this is too much for you and you don't want to hold out here, again, partner, ball, or you can use your bolster. So you just take your bolster behind you, squat down, sit on the bolster. Much more comfortable. Again, our hips are moving outwards, so this is a great position to kind of assist doing that. So let's hold here for a few breaths and relax. Gently flutter your eyes open. And we're going to sit on the bolster if you're not already. Move your feet forward and come into a seated position. This is another position in labor that might be helpful for you. It seems very simple, but if it works, it works. So sitting, I like to sit on a pillow or a little higher up just because it feels better for my hips. Again, experiment with it, find out what works best for you. Crossing at the shins is good for me. This is really something that's comfortable. Or you can always take your feet together into cobbler's pose or Baddha Konasana. Use this. Again, then we start to have some forward momentum, some movement with that. Can help release and relax the lower back. So rocking forward and back, using the breath to help guide you. Keeping a straight, tall spine, and really moving from the hips. If you're here during labor and you're feeling a little tight and you want to loosen up maybe your spinal column, you can always take an open twist here. Again, these are positions that we practice pretty regularly. It's nice to know that during labor you'll have them to depend on. And another labor position we're going to go through is a supine position, so a laying down position. You can, if you'd like, use your blanket, or you can just lay on your mat, but keep your bolster handy. It's going to be a side lying position. Come on down, lay on your side, support yourself with your arm, and then take that bolster in between your knees because you really want some support. You can take your blanket, rest it on your arm, and come down to the ground. Again, this is going to be something during active labor that's going to be a little more helpful, so it's giving you a little bit more as opposed to just laying on your back on that hospital bed. So you have a little bit more room to move around, and it's a little more comfortable on the hips. You don't necessarily need the bolster for today. It helps. Again, if you're having problems sleeping, this is a great position to lay in. Always have that support for your hips. You're going to start to get a little bit sore. During labor, you may have somebody assisting you by holding your leg, or you may hold your leg yourself. Again, you've got the momentum there, so feel free to play around with it. Our last position today is going to be our meditation position. This may or may not be something that you'd like to do during labor, but I find it very comfortable and I think it will be helpful. So take your block, or whatever you have to substitute a block. Place it on your mat. Take your bolster, lay it across so that you have a little bit of a prop. Again, laying on your back when you get pretty far along in your pregnancy is not a good thing. So kind of giving yourself a little bit of an incline helps out a lot. Your blanket or your pillow is going to rest on top, acting as a blanket. And then set your timer for however long you have today, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time you have to really relax and work on your breathing practices, work on your relaxation, those things that are really going to help you throughout labor and throughout delivery. So come on, scoot your hips to your bolster, and then lay down gently, resting your head on your pillow. Shoulders are going to relax, collarbones wide, feet relaxed so that your toes are just flopped out to the side. Really an effortless position. Your arms are out to the side, palms face up to the ceiling. Thumbs starting to roll out toward the floor. Close your eyes and feel the support that you're receiving. Know that with each inhale and exhale, you can help relax your body, calm your nerves, calm any physical sensations. Fill up your lungs, feeling your ribcage expand toward your arms. And on your exhale, feel your body relax and release. I invite you to stay here for as long as you have today, enjoying the relaxation, feeling more prepared, knowing that you have some tools, and that labor is something that you are capable of going through. Until next week, yogis, I hope you enjoy the practice. Hope you have a great week. Namaste.